For this week, we are going to learn about Bool character types or data types. And you're also going to be learning about conditional operators, logical operators, how to do complex expressions, how to read input from the console, and another little format for the if-else statement. You're going to learn how to use a ternary operator. There is a separate video that covers the lesson key points and kind of goes through the code with you. Definitely going to want to read through there, and if you need to watch the video before you do the actual code easy exercise, because I think it will help you understand what you're doing in there more. So once you get done with the key points or watching that video, then you are going to go through the interactive exercise. There is one code segment that I think is a lot more difficult. So I took their hint and I put it in here for you. It's called Middle Finder is the program. You have to find the middle number. So if you guys get stuck on that, I did put their hint in here for you. And I do have the solutions for quite a few of those exercises. I actually have them hidden in this lesson block. So if you need help, please reach out. I'm more than happy to help you, and I can, pull up the correct code and explain to you what it's doing. It's really important that you guys ask for help if you need it. So once you are done with the code easy, there are 22 tasks. And so you are going to want to take a screenshot of the screen that shows the number of tasks that you completed and submit that. And then, 100% completion is 15 out of 15, 90%. So that's 20 to 21 tasks. I'm going to give you 14 out of 15, 80%, 18 to 19 tasks, 13 out of 15, etc. Remember that, you can always resubmit any of these for rescoring one time. So keep that in mind too. Then we do have a lab assignment. There's 2 programs you're going to create. And you can either use .NET Fiddle or Visual Studio. Honestly, I think Visual Studio may be just a little easier just because we can do the string interpolation. So I'm going to pull over Visual Studio. This is going to give you a little help on this first one. So this is the first program, and you can see I called it Lesson4 Program 1. This is all the code it took to create it. And then to run it, I just hit the run button. Okay, and then here is the console. Description of the item. How many items do I want to purchase? The purchase price. All right, so that is a sample run. What you need to turn into me is a little screenshot of this. That is what I'm looking for. I'm going to press enter here. And let me create a mistake because I want to show you what happens if you have a mistake in here. Okay, so first of all, it is trying to show you that you have a mistake. So, but if you miss that red squiggle and you go to run it anyway, you are going to get an error. And so I'm not going to run the last successful build because I want to fix my error. So here it says console does not contain a definition for redline. Most of your errors are going to be typos. So it does a pretty good job of explaining what your typo is. But you can also double click and then it goes right to the location of the error. And so I can change that, and then the squiggle goes away, and then I can save it and run it. So over here to the requirements of this. So lesson 4, program 1 is what it should be called. It is similar to the ice cream example that was in the key points. You determine the namespace and class names. So it doesn't matter to me what they're called. And your program needs to read in the name, the description of the item you are purchasing, the quantity purchased, and the purchase price. So you're going to have to determine which of the variables are strings, which ones are integers, which ones are double. And you can kind of see down here, it's a little sample of the program running. If the variables are integer or double, you need to convert the input string into integer or double. And you can use those parse or convert methods to do that. Once you've got all your data input, then you can calculate the total price and display the total price to the customer. So the total price is just going to be your quantity multiplied by your purchase price. Okay, and then you can display that in your output message. So that is your first program. The second program is basically going to have favorites, and we're also going to be using some Booleans in here. So you're going to create a new program, create a namespace and call it favorites. The class you're going to call my favorites. And then in your main method, you are going to use console.readline statements to enter data into your variables. And I do want you to prompt the user using a console.writeline because you need to tell them what it is that they have to enter. So an example here, what is your favorite number? And here you can see I'm reading it in, and I'm also converting it into an integer and storing it that way. Okay, so the variables that you need to create and read in are number, food, and color. And you're going to do them similar to this example. Okay, so that's 3 variables that you are going to be prompting for and reading in. And then you are going to ask the user to enter true or false to determine basically what their favorite season is. And the way you're going to do that is that you're going to prompt them with a statement. Fall is my favorite season, true or false. Okay, and this is a Boolean, and I just named mine fall, but you can call yours whatever you want. And then I've got bool.parse, and I'm reading it in. So you're going to be doing this for every season. So this is an example of fall, but you need to do it for summer, winter, and spring too. Okay, then once you've got all of their favorites, you are going to print out their preferences and favorites using console.writeline. For the seasons, you should only print out the one that was their favorite, the one where they did enter true. I guess if they entered false for all of them, they have no favorites and nothing gets printed out. But and if they entered true for everything, they're all going to end up being printed. But basically, what your output is going to look like is something like this. So you're prompting them, you're reading in the values, then we're prompting for each season, and then here is the little printout. Okay, and so I can run that one for you too. Let me quick open it. Oh, and I should show you this too. When you go to File and Open in Visual Studio, it's the solution file that you want to open. And then I'm going to go ahead and run this. What is your favorite number? Favorite food? It is really pizza. Orange is really my favorite color. And I'm going to do true for a couple of these. Just so you can see kind of what happens with the output, because it's just a simple if statement. It's just the way I set it up was if fall. Okay, so if fall is true, then console.writeLine. So you'll be doing something similar. Okay, and that's it for the assignment. I don't think it's too bad, but get your feet wet with some of this coding. If you run into any problems, let me know. I am here to help you. And keep in mind that I did put these resources down here for you. So after, listening or to the lecture or reading through it and working through Code Easy and doing the lab assignments, if there's anything you still wanted more information on, I've got it down here for you. So please let me know if you have any questions at all, and have an awesome week.